guys, welcome back to the Soul Be Home YouTube channel. This week I have a mixed media jewelry box for you guys. That's an Alice in Wonderland theme. We all know I love Alice, so here we go. So after a very thorough cleaning, or as thorough as you can get with a paper type product, I started out with yellow wellies, which is a color that I honestly do not often use. So this is giving me a very unique base, but I feel like yellow really goes with the Alice theme, so that's how I wanted to start. And as you can see, I'm just applying it with a stipple motion, which is just dabbing the paint onto the piece. And I'm using an oval shaped brush. I did not opt to remove my hardware this time. I often do, but for this piece, I felt like painting over the hardware was the best decision. So now it's time to add a little more color. I'm using a stencil that looks like a vintage wallpaper, and I sprayed it with a stencil adhesive, and then I am just applying a blue color called Nightfall and a lavender color called Wisteria. And I am not worried about full coverage because I do want a rustic look. I do like to dip my little sponge into the paint and then put a little bit on the cardboard first. It helps me control the paint a little bit better. I've already applied the stencil to the top and both sides of the piece, and now I just want to get some of these colors onto the front as well. So I already had the little rabbit from the Following Alice mold made, so I don't need to do that again, but I'm going to add some copper mica powder into the molds. I like to do this just to kind of have a base color. Um, I'm not worried about making it perfect because I do like to go back over mine with wax. I also really don't like to waste resin, so I'm always going to have an extra mold ready just in case I have too much prepared. That way I can go ahead and pour it out into the mold. So after only about 10 minutes or so, I can go ahead and demold these, and I'm going to go ahead and apply them while they're still a little bendable. And I use Tite Bond Clear Quick and Thick to apply these. And I'm just using a little rubber paintbrush to coat the back, not overly coated because then you'll have a lot of extra cleanup once you put it on. And then I like to use painter's tape to hold that piece into place while it dries. So if you're thinking this is a little bright and in your face, you're exactly right. It needs to be toned down. So I'm gonna do that by taking a black paint called Licorice, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a little coating. I'm trying to make sure I'm using an angled brush to get into all the little nooks and crannies. And then I'm gonna use my little slow mist water spray bottle and give it a very generous coating, and then keep a paper towel right on hand to go ahead and blot this off and wipe it back. So this technique is not only toning my colors down, but it's really helping to give my piece a very aged look as well. And so while I'm doing this, I'm also taking my fingernail while it's kind of being wet, distressed almost, and adding a little bit of a chippy effect by scratching some of the paint off. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of antique gold rub and buff onto my molds and around the edges of my piece as well, just to kind of go ahead and further highlight all the details. This will also give me a chance to cover up some of those areas that didn't get mica powder on them when I was pouring my resin. I love how well these colors ended up working together and how much they really do go with the Alice in Wonderland theme. This was a fun mixed media project, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Have a great week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.